Hello, truth seekers. Lawrence here, and welcome to Easy Enlightenment. So, if you want to wake up to the truth of who you are or enlighten yourself, then question everything. Question your deepest fear. Question your trigger points where your emotional get fluctuated. Question your attachment. Question your attitude. Question every aspect of your life. Question in a way that you're tracing your mind backward to figure out the root cause of your suffering, the root cause of your pain, root cause of your conflict within and outside. Trace it back. Once you figure out the root cause of the problem, then you figure out why you hold on to that root, and your life is happening from that root. And if you do that, then you'll wake up to the truth of who you are. That's the process to wake up, tracing the mind backward. Why? Because mind is the realm that is creating a fluctuation in our lives. Mind is filled with ideas. We listen to the ideas, and some ideas may make us go through that happy feeling, brings us joy, brings us fun. And there are ideas that fluctuates us, especially when we get fluctuated by the ideas. The mental narration prolongs, isn't it? And the more we have the negative mentality story prolonging in us, notice how the body get tense. And from that narrating the story, notice how their further feeling of fear, the idea of fear comes in. That's why we need to trace the mind backward. Mind is the source of the problem right now. Mind is the source of our struggle. Mind is the source of struggle because mind is the past. And we are anchored in the past to live in the present. Mind has become the reality, which is not even true. It's not even who you are. Mind comes from the outside, from the place of experience. Whatever we go through in life leaves an idea in us. And mind is full of ideas. And some of the ideas are so true in us because of the experience that came as a greater shift, as growth. And those are the ideas ingrained in us, and we are moving with those ideas as a preference, as a belief. And when we rely on our past, we naturally ignore who we are. Latching onto our mind also makes us know that we don't know who we are. Anything we attach heavily, cling onto, that shows that we don't know who we are. And when we don't know who we are, there's a struggle, there's a pain, there's a fear, there's a fluctuation. We don't know how to be part of the outer reality, by the way. If you know how to be part of the outer reality, then there should be no struggle. When we are having fun in the outer reality, we don't want to let go. That isn't it. We want to prolong the fun. We prolong the joy. We want to prolong everything that is good. We forget that all experience in life is momentary. But that momentary experience, we're trying to make it permanent, and because of that, we are going against the natural way of things, and because of that, we are struggling. So, if you don't want to struggle, we must question everything in life. Especially we have to question ourselves to figure out whether the things that we are attached to are true or not. By the way, when there's attachment, that shows the sign of fear again. When you know, not know, when you see who you are, there's no attachment. There's only allowing things to come and go. If there's a fun, you go through the fun, but you don't hold on to the fun. You know that the fun is just a phase. Same when there's a struggle, it's just a phase. It will go eventually. But when we are missing the truth of who we are, the scenario is different. The reality we are living is different, isn't it? The reality right now is life is a struggle. Life don't have to be a struggle. Life is definitely an effort, but don't have to be struggle. There's a difference between the struggle and effort. Struggle is when you don't know how to do things, then your fear is making you just push through that certain experience and trying to get something out of that experience. And effort is, you understand there has to be certain effort to pulsate in life, to pulsate with the nature, to pulsate with people, everything around us. There has to be an effort. Some people have this idea that spiritual enlightenment is going to solve every problems in life. No, it won't. Enlightenment is about seeing things as it is, especially seeing the truth of who you are. And the process of seeing the truth of who you are makes you understand the nature of the mind and outer mind, which is the people. You understand that, and also you understand the rest of the world as pattern. You understand that when you go through the enlightenment journey, when you see who you are. And after that, the effort is still there, but there's no struggle. There's no mental struggle specifically. There's no mental drama. There's no fear in the person. So that is the difference. Post-enlightenment life and the pre-enlightenment life. Pre-enlightenment life is struggle, is fear-based. Every action is coming from the place of fear. You question yourself. Everything you're doing right now is coming from the place of fear. If you don't resonate with what I'm saying, question yourself. Ask yourself, why do I do what I do? You question yourself. If you ask yourself a question, you realize There's a deep rooted fear in you. And because of that fear, our action is coming to prolong basically this life. Prolong the fun, prolong the experience. So, the pre-enlightenment journey is full of fear, full of struggle. And because of the fear, notice how much we control everything. We control our relationship to everything, to another human being. We manipulate when we don't know the truth. And there are three attitudes comes in when there's a fear. We control, we run away when we can't control, when the environment trigger us. When we can't dominate the environment, we run. And we resist. These are the three attitudes, strong attitude in every human being. Controlling, resisting, or running away. Fear makes us do all of those, brings the attitude according to the situation, circumstances we are in right now. Right now in your life, one of those attitude is present in you. Ask yourself, why am I controlling? Why am I resisting? Why am I running away from the things in my life? This is the way to wake up, Questioning ourselves is the way, simple way to figure out the reason of our struggle. And from there, not just we see the root cause of the struggle, we can also figure out the truth of who we are. We can see the plain sight truth. Seeing the plain sight truth is waking up from the false reality, waking up from our, delusion life. Desire for freedom is there in everyone's life. Freedom is calling, but we only work for the relative freedom, the momentary freedom. If I can make through the day, I'm okay. Tomorrow I'll deal with it. That's the attitude human have. People don't want to, work for the absolute freedom. Momentary is enough. Momentary freedom itself is a distraction not to look into the true freedom. And without being truly free, without seeing the truth, even that momentary freedom we seek is making us struggle, isn't it? Making us go through so much mental drama, making us go through so much fear. And again, when that is the situation, the ego is so strong, and ego wants to, makes you move in a way that creates a lot of fire. And right now, if you pull back and see what's happening in the world, is because of the ego. Not just your life. You go to, see in the political sense, it's all ego. Domination, controlling, resisting. All because of the ego. It's happening, all those things, just because not able to see the truth of who we are. So, to make the better world, we have to see ourselves first. Every individual has their own, responsibility to see the truth of who we are. And if we see the truth of who we are, the stubborn ego can be dissolved. Post-enlightenment is a healthy ego. So if we can drop the stubborn ego, then there's a sense of ease in everyone's life. When there's a ease, there's a, healthy ego, then the world is pulsating with healthy stuff. But now when you hear the healthy stuff, don't try to pick up the healthy stuff. The healthy stuff is a byproduct of the enlightenment journey, byproduct of the awakening to the truth. Some of you are aligned with the healthy stuff, positive stuff. Notice, even you're working with the positive stuff, your life is full of fear. You hold on to those positive ideas and action is because you borrowed from someone else. When you borrowed from someone else, you're missing the truth. And the truth, when the truth is not there, even your positive attitude, positive mentality, positive action is coming from the place of fear, coming from the stubborn ego. And that's why, there's a suffering. And not just that, notice when people start to align with the positive stuff, they also preach those things to the world. And they segregate, they separate. This is good, this is not good. And that's how we create further division with the positive stuff. And because of that, there's conflict, and the conflict starts to build up. When the conflict starts to get bigger and bigger, and there is this thing called war, where, things are messy, and innocents are becoming the collateral damage just because of someone's ego. This is the, just we have to see the whole thing, how ego can torture your life, and how the ego can fluctuates the surrounding, and how the ego can really mess up the world. Just because of the ego. So, and because of the ego, there's suffering, there's a fear. So, don't worry about the outer world. Worry about yourself. Not worry, but learn to see things as it is. So, if you want to see things as it is, if you want to see the truth of who you are, question everything in your life. In the beginning, I mentioned question your deepest fear. Question your trigger point, why you get fluctuated by in the moment. Question your attachment. Question the attitude that comes in you, because of the moment that you're facing. Question. When you question, you figure out your problem. And true freedom of seeing the truth of who you are is also dismantling the root cause of the problem. And if you prolong this questioning journey, eventually you will also dissolve the questioner. Dissolving the questioner means dissolving yourself in the process. That's enlightenment journey. Dissolving you. Dissolving you means your ego self. Dissolving you means dissolving the questioner. And when the questioner dissolves, that means dissolving the mind as well, with all the answers. They get all dissolved. And that's where you take the seat of the observer. You become the observer, not the mind. End of the when your spiritual journey ends by seeing the truth of who you are, you truly become the observer of your life. You'll be the observer of the world and observer of yourself. And when you are observer, that means you're conscious. And easy living starts. But pre-enlightenment journey is not easy. So seek easy living through questioning everything that you're thinking or you thought to be true. Question everything. Okay, anyway, that's all in this video. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Take care for now.